Hey, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Sharice. I help Black men and women heal from trauma and toxic relationships, including toxic relationship from the church. And I love God. Jesus is the homie. And I hate, oh my God, I hate when people lie on God. Like, it bothers me. Depending on what's going on in my life, it bothers me more. I'm not like so much emotionally bothered by people lying on God. And the first topic, I'm not saying he's necessarily lying on God, right? Pastor Philip of the 2819 church. I don't think he's lying on God. I do think that the Black church, maybe the church in general, especially Christianity in America, kind of skews the words that are in the Bible. At one time, the Bible was used to keep people enslaved, right? Keep my people, keep Black people enslaved. And I think to do anything in America, like to talk about any topic without the context of slavery, is to do a disservice to the reality of what people are experiencing here, because we still have institutional racism. We still have, that person in the White House. There are just so many things that are directly tied to the way things were done when white people enslaved Black people in America. The specific chattel slavery in America is different to the way slavery is done in any other place in the world. You can't talk about police brutality without the context, the foundation, the history of slavery, right? So that's the background. I know that he did a sermon recently where he was preaching on obedience, right? The message was on the obedience to God. I think I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't even, right? I'm just looking at, I want to speak more to the response online, but I want to give you some context. He gave an example about a white police officer. I don't know if he was talking about his own experience or just like an example of why it's important for our young people, our young Black boys, to obey police officers, like obey authority figures. It's like, as a sentence, there's nothing wrong with telling people to obey authority figures, right? Your teachers, your principal, police officers, like it's important. But we live in America and we know that police officers, whether they're white, brown, or Black, because we're all indoctrinated into white supremacy, which means white is right. Anyone, including you who have dark skin, can view yourself, right? Hate yourself for being Black and can hate other people for being Black. So blindly following a police officer and thinking that, oh, this is going to protect me. I am definitely going to be helped, saved just because this is an authority figure. I think it's reckless. I think it's dangerous. I think the message that it's sending is another reminder that you think white is right. I don't know what this man's beliefs are. I also, the comment section was crazy. There are a lot of cult-minded people. Sometimes church can feel like a cult, especially when you haven't gone in a long time. Like the rituals, like the specific routines of it can feel very nothing. We are not open to any outside feedback. We are not open to being corrected. There are people who, even after he gave an apology, right, to clarify what he was saying, we're still saying like he shouldn't have apologized, like he shouldn't have clarified, like you all are making race your idol. And I think it's just so scary. I think it's so scary that in 2025, a bunch of Black people attack other Black people online for someone's misstep, right? This man made a mistake because he apologized for it. We can call it a mistake now. He misspoke. The example he gave was not the best way to demonstrate the importance of obedience to authority figures. But I'm telling you, the response was otherworldly. One of the questions that I had in like watching this demonstration and how vile Christian people were being was, is there a way for Pastor Philip to teach people, explain to people that being good stewards of the word means correcting people in love? Like the people who were giving commentary on Pastor Philip were more level-headed and calm and moving in love more than the so-called people, members of his church, Christian people. Like this is exactly why Christian people leave the church, because there's so many vindictive, evil-minded, hurtful people that just want to attack other people. What are we supposed to, I'm not going to church. I'm gonna go to church like with my boyfriend. I'll do mass of that stuff every now and then, but I'm not going to be a member of a church. And it's one of the reasons why, even when I was revisiting the idea of Christianity and going to church and, doing more of the religious things, I was quickly reminded why I do not participate in worship, in being a follower of Christ in that specific way, because there are too many low vibrational people around who just are using Christianity as like an identity. It's an ideology. They're not really practicing being loving or kind. They're not actually forgiving other people. They're it's like a mask. Like they're wearing a mask to be mean and hurtful to other people, all under the guise of, well, at least I'm not going to help. You probably are. Okay. You probably are. I would encourage anyone to go listen to Pastor Philip. I mean, if you like my content, you probably would like Michael Beckwith. I think I much prefer the groundedness of his sermons that feel much more realistic to the world we live in and gives you like actionable steps to shift your mindset and to embrace love in like all the ways. That's what I'll say about the man. The next thing about church people is Laterras Whitfield interviewing another cheating Black love struggle couple. And I do want to make a point about Laterras. I think I did a review on one of his videos, but he's one of those people that I very quickly realized, oh, this man ain't looking for no wife. This man is not looking for a wife. This man, I don't know if it was like the third beautiful woman friend that he brought on. And I was like, you have access to all these smart, brilliant, beautiful women and you can't find a wife? No, you can. Men are the ones that control access to marriage. They're the ones to propose. He could find a wife if he wanted. So this is like way back when. This is even before Tony Gaskins said what he said about like the good looking male podcasters who, you know, are peddling lies to Black women. And then let's be specific about the context of church, like God fearing Black women who have this belief, God is going to send me my man. God is going to send me my man. And so you stay home and you watch Laterras on your phone or your TV and you literally never find a husband, because you were never intentional about learning the skills to date or going out there and actually meeting people or working through your trauma or the challenges that stop you from maintaining a long-term healthy relationship. You just like be a passive observer in your life. Those are the people I think that watch Laterras Whitfield religiously. I do believe that he is in people's DMs. I do believe he's a womanizer. I do believe he's having sex with multiple women. I do believe all those things. And I do not encourage you to watch him. I don't. And I was just watching Jessie Wu's review of the pastor's wife, the one he was recently interviewing, where she said that she was ironing his clothes. She was ironing her husband's clothes for him to go meet with his side chick. And God told her, and she wouldn't recommend this, but if God tells you, if God puts it on your heart, listen, I love that people are using like religious terms like adultery to describe what's happening here. God, I don't know. Listen, I don't know who y'all are praying to. I am convinced that what you all are talking about is demonic. I am convinced. Okay. Like full blown spirit of evil on top of you. I am convinced, because the seriousness, I mean, they're joking when they say it, or they're laughing when they say it. They're not joking. But the matter of fact, joking way that they are describing years and years of this woman experiencing emotional abuse, psychological abuse, having an adulterer as a pastor that she's married to, is like, I'm disgusted. Yeah, I'm disgusted. I think Laterras keeps putting men like this on his show because that's what he wished he had. He wished his wife never left. He wished his wife would just let him cheat in peace and still ask him, what do you want to eat? Girl, I'm not the one. Listen, the church likes to talk about how divorce is not godly, it's not Christian, whatever. I know specifically for adultery, right? Abuse, you can end a marriage and God will be happy with you. I don't believe in that, like, God happy for you, whatever. But if people are trying to be sticklers of the religious word, you can divorce a man for cheating on you. Yes. Why are you staying in something that's so toxic and evil? That man, men often marry, if a man is not marrying a woman he loves, right? There are men who marry women they genuinely love. He can get whatever he can get from the world, but he picked you because he loves you and he wants to treat you well and he wants to have fun with you and enjoy life together. That's one reason men marry. Another reason is to perform marriage, right? I just want to say I'm married, but not actually do the husband things. They'll pick a woman that will let them get away with whatever. And at this point, now that there's another on the Laterras Whitfield's podcast, I am also convinced that he is trying to groom women. Groom is not the right word, right? These are not children. He is trying to coerce, confuse, chaotic in a way, encourage women to stay with men who cheat on them, who mentally abuse them, who are not good for them. You can find a good man. There are so many good men out there. I think the last statistic I saw for cheaters is like 20 or 30% of men cheat. I don't even think it's most men. I think it's very, very common for people to cheat. I also think at a certain point in your life, like your early mid 20s, you might be experimenting, exploring yourself and meeting all these people. You have so many to choose from that you probably cheated once in your life, twice maybe. But for men who are habitual cheaters, like Laterras, like this man who was recently on his platform, like these men are like internally empty, like they're missing something. And I think it's that connection to God. This is why I think this stuff is demonic. I think they are striving for this peace. They are striving for love. They are striving for belonging. They are trying to feel enough and they're looking for it everywhere outside of themselves. And so they think that the number of women they have or the certain experiences that they have with a woman, certain sexual experiences they have, or they're hunting for that, after orgasm feeling that they will feel better. It's almost like a drug, right? So if you think of, I know some people, I'm not Christian, but in that wording, it's like the spirit of addiction. You are like addicted to the feeling that comes along with pursuing multiple women and then them saying yes and then you leaving them and then having sex with random ones or the one that you knew from 2 years ago or whatever. I think it's so sick and I'm so disgusted and I do not think you should listen to that man talk. That's what I'll say about that. What's wrong with that woman? She needs therapy. But I often tell you all, the hardest part of changing or like healing from trauma is acknowledging that you are traumatized and that you are enacting those repeated traumas. Because she said, like, I think she grew up in a home where her parents got divorced because her father cheated. And this is the magical thinking of a child. Things would have been so much better if our parents had stayed together. Bitch doesn't want it. You be traumatized in different ways. You can't like foresee it. But right now, she's literally egocentric. She literally cannot see anything wrong with the way she's living her life. Oftentimes, women in their 60s, although I think she's in her 60s, women often don't get the message until they're in their 60s, right? Until all the kids have moved out. Can you imagine how these kids feel? Either the sons are exactly like the father or they don't talk to him. The daughters are with a man exactly like the father or they don't talk to him and they're with a man that's completely the opposite, like an upstanding, faithful man that doesn't even go to church. I would love to hear the children talk. They're like adult children. I think the youngest is like in their 30s or something. So she may never get it in this lifetime. And sometimes people don't get it in this one lifetime. And that is that's life. I used to say this before and not feel sad. It just used to be a fact. Like, so many people are not spiritually aware. So many people will do the same thing over and over and over again, have the same experiences for their life and then die and then come back and try again. I feel so sad now when I say, like, I could literally cry. Like, I feel so sad thinking about other people. And I know there's something about what's happening in the earth right now that has me feeling like so sensitive, like the race wars, the gender wars. I just feel so bothered. I just feel so bothered. And I feel like so tired talking about this kind of stuff. I was watching, I really feel emotional. Hold on. This video is sponsored by me. Check out my website, spiritsoulsense.com, for a couple of free downloads. I also have my poetry ebook for sale, and you can also purchase my artwork and merch to help support my channel. I was watching Dominique. She's Brown and Bendy, and she took a break from YouTube and came back, and now she's focusing on peace. Like a lot of she wants to do like podcasts about peace, just talking about peace. And I think it's one of the most beautiful things. I wish she could go viral, right? Like I wish my content could go viral more often. Embracing like love and peace and encouraging people to be better. I don't know. Yeah. And my next couple of videos are gonna be about healthy relationships. I'm definitely in a different space now, and that might have something to do with it, of like love. I don't know. Love in all the ways. Just like I just wish people could have more love. Let's end on a lighter note. I wanted to just briefly talk about Tracee Ellis Ross. I'm happy for her. I would love to know what her standards are for men, but I am literally happy to see Black women living life on their terms, like doing whatever they want. And I think it's a wonderful thing that she's exploring like different ages of men. I was surprised at the way, you know, sexist men podcasters weaponized her words, twisted what she was saying about dating other people. I definitely think it's a projection of their own toxic ways, that they would think that she wants to be in control, and that's the reason why she would date younger men, because that's literally why men pick women in their early 20s, like 19, 20, before 25. If a man over 30, over 40 is picking a woman who's like 19 or 20 or 22, it is because he wants to control her. There is like the rare occurrence of like kindred souls, or people who were meant to be, or people have things in common that have nothing to do with control, but it's just so rare. Most men, that's what they're doing. And so they somehow think women think the same way. Most women are not trying to be in control of anything. Most women want to be loved and are more likely to embrace love and kindness and tenderness. So I definitely don't think she's dating anyone that's 21. She didn't give an age, but when I listened to her, I heard like 36, right? In my mind, I just envisioned a 36-year-old, my man is 35. Yeah, like, I'm not saying he would, he's dated older women before, but I think he's okay, I'm saying a lot of things. I feel like a 45-year-old woman. My son is about to turn 18. I live on my own. I make as much as two people. I feel, right, that usually I date men who are a little bit older because they're a little bit more solidified in their finances. The way my boyfriend is, there are lots of men like him who are 35, 36, 38, who have their stuff together, who figured out financial literacy, who wanted to have a home, who are so grounded, who are leaders in their community, in their environment at work. So I could see her with a man like that. I also wanted to touch on what she said about like fluidity. I don't know if she said gender fluidity or sexual fluidity. I don't remember. I did watch the whole thing. I think I'm not gonna say it. I wish Michelle Obama the best. To me, because I'm actually turning 36, right? So I have access to men that I have access to. But this is my dating pool, right? I'm not dating anymore. I found my love of my life. But I understand that a lot of men are so brainwashed by society about how men should be, how they shouldn't be. So I would not date a man who is homophobic. I'm not marrying a man who's homophobic. You would never get to be with me and be homophobic. If you have negative beliefs about gay people, I don't want anything to do with you. You hate people, I don't want anything to do with you. So my boyfriend, when I think about his respect for people in general, including women, and his friend group, like people he has access to, spends time with, like they're diverse. That's what I thought of when she said like fluidity. I think if you think like Cher, who's the other person, Mariah Carey, I think maybe she's talking about that also, like a man who is gender fluid, but not like he's not what do you call him? He's not non-binary, but he is less likely to perform masculinity in the societal acceptable, the only way society says they are acceptable. right? They're more likely to embrace other things. I think I might be more rigid than my boyfriend, honestly, about what a man is or shouldn't or do, that he is much more open-minded about like what is a real man, right? And not like Dr. Heavenly, who thinks that only straight men can be real men. It's a character description of what a real man is versus a boy or a male who lacks integrity or lacks character or harms women. Real men don't harm women. Okay. So I just love Tracee Ellis Ross and how she just speaks. I think I have no idea, right? I don't watch all her interviews. I think she teeters back and forth with, I'm happy with my single life. No, I want a partner. Oh, I'm tired of dating. Let me try again. I feel like she does that when I really see her more as somebody who's so solid in, I will be fine being single. And I think she is fine with being single, but I really think she still desires a partner. And for women who desire a partner, but they're not getting the results they want, I do think it's helpful to find somebody to help you. Right? She has the resources. I don't know. But I definitely wish women like her who do whatever they want, like the best. I just really admire people that do whatever I want. There was a time in my life when I thought I had to do things in a certain way. I mean, this was a long time ago because I often say, like, getting pregnant at 17 saved me in a way. I literally would have performed my life as told, as should be, if I didn't get pregnant at 17. And maybe something else would have happened along the way because I would never have gone past 25 without a child. But yeah, I just have been doing whatever I want for a long time, like doing life on my terms, pursuing my own interests, like setting my own goals and achieving them. I've just been, right, not deciding not to get married, deciding when I want to move. Yeah. So I'm wishing people the best. Okay. Let me know what you think in the comments about these topics, these crazy people, and the lovely Tracee Ellis Ross. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more relationship content. And thank you for watching.